Hey y'all, my name is Priscilla and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a Top 5 Wednesday, and this is my first time doing a Top 5 Wednesday on my channel. And the topic today is favorite covers. And since it is Hispanic Heritage Month, I was actually thinking of doing something similar to this, and since I came across this topic on the Top 5 Wednesday Goodreads group, I decided to just go ahead and squeeze it in here. And I'm going to be focusing on Latinx favorite covers because it is Hispanic Heritage Month, and I just want to talk about some of my favorite Hispanic Latinx book covers. So covers, I think that it's going to be really hard for me to talk about book covers and not just be like, oh, it's so beautiful. So let's hope that I bring a little bit of substance to this. And I feel like covers are such an important design and impression on readers because it's the first thing that you see about a book, and it really says a lot about the book, or it should say a lot about the book. And some of the covers that I like, I think, are ones that really reflect the narrative of the book and the mood of the book and the tone of the book. So let's just go ahead and start talking about some of them. So the first book that I want to mention is Labyrinth Lost by Zoraida Cordova. This is the first batch, I don't know the proper term, the first published version cover of this book. I know that there is a new cover, but I really like this cover. And I was a little sad and disappointed to see that they were replaced with a newer version, but I get it. But anyways, I love this cover because of the obvious on-cover representation. I love seeing brown girls on covers, and I love this Dia de los Muertos throwback kind of style to this book. It gives me a lot of like Coco vibes, and I feel like that is exactly what this book feels like when you're reading it. So if you don't know anything about Labyrinth Lost, I talked about it on my channel a couple times. You must be new here. But this is a YA fantasy that follows a family of brujas. And the main character is a bruja, and on her death day celebration, she decides to cast a spell to get rid of her powers because she hates them. But she also ends up getting rid of her family, and she has to go and save them. And it's just a really fun YA fantasy about a Latinx family with all brown characters and with a main character as well. And I just love this cover so much. Here's the first cover that I'm gonna say, oh, I just love this cover so much. And also, I know this is about covers, but like the spine, I really like it when they have like this little, like, what is the word for that? Like the little picture on the spine. I really like that too. Yeah, outside of that, I also like the gold, this textured feel, and I also like just this little like blue accented stuff up here that looks really cool in the light right there. Yeah, just a beautiful cover. The next cover I want to talk about is the Love, Sugar, and Magic cover. And this is A Dash of Trouble, book 1 in this series, and it is by Ana Mariano. And I haven't yet read this book. I started it, but I haven't finished it. And this is a middle grade that is all about another family of witches, but this time this family uses baking and they incorporate magic through their baking somehow. And this is about this little girl here, and I love this so much because you can just tell what this book is about from the cover. And arguably, I think that middle grade just has some of the funnest, best looking covers. Like, she's baking, she's sitting there with her like little oven, and there's like this magical like stuff coming out. I just really love that, and I feel like, again, on cover representation is really important, and I can see myself in this little girl as a child myself when I was a child. So the next book that I want to talk about is Corazon by Jessica Salgado, and this is a collection of poetry by a Salvadoran American poet. And I think that this cover is very like in style right now, if I could say that, related to like cover design of books this year. I've seen it a lot, at least, where it's like the main focus is on the typography of the title and the author's name. It's usually like an all white or all black, and it's usually with a backdrop of some sort of bright, simple, colorful design. I think it's really effective, and I might be a little basic for picking a cover like this, but I immediately saw this and wanted to know more about it. And when I found out about the author a little more, I knew that I wanted to add it to my collection. This, I think, is just really beautiful. I think orange is also a color that I am really attracted to as well. But in terms of what it's about and how it relates to the cover, this is a collection that's about the very fragile emotion and act of love. The author herself compares love a lot to fruit, and it's sweet and it's fragile and it's delicious, but it's also easy to harm. It needs care and doesn't last forever all the time. So I think that this cover really is a nice symbolic representation of the poetry and the work in this. So yeah, I just love it. I just love it. It's beautiful. The next book I want to talk about is titled Loteria, and I don't have a physical copy of it. It's actually on my Kindle, but I don't feel like going to go get it. But this is a book that has a Loteria card on the cover, and it's just so beautiful. Like, I love seeing my culture represented on covers. Like, when I saw this at the library, I got really giddy inside, because I don't think I've ever seen in libraries like my culture represented in this way. Loteria cards are just such staples in Mexican culture. To see it on a book cover just meant so much to me. I used to want to get like a tattoo on my forearm. I've seen like tattoo Loteria card sleeves that I just love and gush about, and I was just really happy to see it on a cover. And again, this is, I think, a middle grade or a YA story, and I just really happen to love YA middle grade covers. They're just so fun and whimsy and beautiful. The last cover is a book that I recently found on Goodreads that I just love. And the book is called Sabrina and Corinne Stories, and it's a collection of short stories about indigenous Latinx women. And this cover, oh my god, so beautiful. It kind of like has some like Beauty and the Beast vibes for me, with like the rose and like the glass thing that's over her body. And I just feel like it's gonna have so much symbolism in terms of what the stories are gonna be about, which I don't know a lot about, but I just feel so drawn to this aesthetic. And it's beautiful. I feel like that's all I have to say about this cover. It's beautiful. But that's all that I have for this video. It's my first time doing a Top 5 Wednesday. I don't really know how this is gonna work out, but hopefully I made a little bit of sense in this video, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. So let me know in the comments below what your favorite book cover is, or if you have book covers that you love for similar reasons that I presented today. But that's all that I have for this video, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next video. Bye!